Hello everyone and welcome to Green Healing. Today I want to do a kind of bonus episode before I get everything ready for season 2 of Green Healing. And for this bonus episode, I want to talk about someone I had the opportunity to meet in Acapulco, Mexico that I went to in this past February, and some of the stuff that he does. The t-shirt that I'm wearing today is a t-shirt that I bought from him, which has a very green healing-esque message to it, I find. You are beautiful, you are powerful, you are free, which very much goes along the theme of empower yourself and be emotional free. So I want to talk about Derrick Broze, who I did not know before going to Acapulco. This was at the Anarchapulco event. And I was interested in what he was going to talk about, but I didn't know much about it. So then my husband and I, we went to the main stage, we listened to his speech, and what he presented had a very chakra. He presented things that with freedom and healing going along the chakras, which I'm going to talk a bit more about in a few moments. And after the event, I got to speak with him one-on-one. And the very next day, he was doing some sort of conference in his hotel room. And so we went there, and it was like, it wasn't just a conference. It was like a council and a group therapy session where everybody was talking about where they were in their lives, where they felt they were stuck, and everyone was giving everybody some advice. I got some great advice from people over there. It was really, really great to just open up with people where I was at in my life, in my healing journey. And one of the main takeaways that I got from Derrick Broze is that his message has to do a lot with self-healing and stopping the violence we do to ourselves, either physically or psychologically, in order to heal the world and stop the violence in the world, that it starts from within and then we can bring it without. And so I found that I connected with that. It really resonated with my current healing journey a lot. So I want to share it with you all if ever something like that resonates with you as well. And by the way, this video is not sponsored by him in any way, but I now consider him a friend, and check out his content. I'll put all the necessary links below in the description, because maybe his content will resonate with you. Also, he's written a lot of books, he does videos, he's a YouTuber also. The Conscious Resistance is his YouTube channel. So check out his stuff, maybe it'll resonate with you also. And the vibe that I got from the first encounter was the energy. Like there's a lot of self-healing energy, so you can sense that when you meet him. And there's a lot of in the communication, he uses nonviolent communication, so he's very responsive, very receptive, and there's a nice flow of energy in conversation, which is ideal when you're connecting with other people who have been through trauma and who are healing, depending where they are on their journey. Personally, I've encountered people also who are kind of stuck in the energy. It gets kind of stagnated, and there can be friction. It can be difficult to align ourselves in order to better help each other. So when the flow of energy just flows, basically, there can be resonance. And so hearing his story helps me on my journey, and sharing my story could maybe help other people on their journey. And there was just like in the conference, like the council, the group session, there were like maybe 15 people, and just the energy in the room was just so positive, was just so uplifting. It was amazing. So on the video version of this episode, I'm gonna throw up a picture from the conference, just so that you can have an idea of what he was talking about. So at the root chakra, which is the first chakra, on one side, he writes mindfulness, and on the other side, foundation. And I mean, the root chakra is the foundation basically because you're rooted into the ground. It's when you ground yourself, when you do grounding exercises, either breathing exercises, meditation, or yoga, it's really the root chakra connecting. When you're aligning your chakras, you begin with the root chakra up towards, because it's the base of your spine. It holds the rest of you up. And the roots with your feet, they carry your whole body forward. The base of everything, basically. Basically, yeah. At the sacral chakra, which is the stomach chakra, you have on one side reflection and on the other side education. So it makes sense that it be at the belly because reflection, education, when you educate yourself, the knowledge. I spoke about the knowledge getting us out of chaos and into away from the abuse, into knowledge being the gateway towards healing and freedom. So when you think things over, there's the obviously the education with the reflection, you mull things over, you think things over. But at the sacral chakra, that being associated there, you're not just mulling things over. You can learn something and it doesn't sit right. You're having trouble digesting it, or you're digesting all this information, and the information that you have trouble digesting that doesn't sit well with you, well, you discard it, and then you keep what's good, and it goes through all to your different cells in your body, your energetic cells. At the solar plexus chakra, you have forgiveness and action. So this is an interesting one because I would have thought forgiveness maybe more with the heart, but forgiveness at the sacral, it does make sense because when you feel guilty, when you feel that self-guilt, when you feel, the not that great, it's in the pit of your stomach. And when you're scared to do something, the action, when you're scared to do something, usually it's at the pit of your stomach. So that would be overcoming those malaises, those sensations for me. And obviously, as an aside, this is my reflection, my thoughts in regards to this image and what I heard Derrick Broze say. This is not what Derrick Broze was saying. just so you know, these are my reflections on his content. So then at the heart chakra, you have acceptance and localizing things. So you narrow it down. And for me, it does make sense because all the pain, all the ailments, it all ends up localized at the heart chakra because that's where all the healing is directed towards, because that's where all the hurt was directed, and that's where all the pain gets directed. Even the pain that I feel at that one, near that one vertebrae, it's aligned here slightly to the left, so it's definitely localized. But like forgiveness has to come before acceptance. So that makes sense. Then at the throat chakra, he has healing and harmonize. And I guess I like the harmonize. I like the sound of it. And when you are meditating, or when I spoke about the mind detox, it's like you have the ones, this, power. So it's the throat vibrations, and also the healing comes here, but then you're able to express it. You can express the healing, and expressing the healing allows for more healing. It's as though you're letting it out and it's making room for more healing. My assessment, obviously. And then at the third eye chakra, he has empowerment and community. Well, when we get together with a community, we can empower ourselves, but also the self-empowerment, the third eye chakra, when the intuition, the understanding of the self. It's not just the divination or understanding dreams or, opening the third eye chakra and meditating more. It's the self-empowerment, the understanding of the self, basically. And then at the crown chakra, actualization and liberation. So the crown chakra, it's like when you're aligning your chakras, like, and then everything, you know, comes out and then back down and through the feet and out, the energy. So the actualization of all this healing, of all this positive energy, all this work that we are doing to move towards self-empowerment is actually, and the healing also not only becomes the healing of the heart and the emotion and everything, but then it fixes the mental aspect also, you know, especially for people who have been brainwashed and, you know, doing the EFT and everything. So that makes sense for that. And the liberation, self-empowerment, emotional freedom, complete liberation, complete freedom. So that's my personal takeaway from this image based on some of the things that Derrick Broze was saying. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Again, it's not sponsored, but he's someone I really enjoyed meeting him, consider him a friend now, and definitely check out his content. He talks a lot about healing, talks a lot about freedom, you know, so check it out, see if it's your cup of tea, and I'm sure you can get your own t-shirts. Which reminds me, I should probably design my own t-shirts too. So, but anyway, hopefully this you found this little bonus episode interesting. I'm still prepping a few things up for the next season. I'm very busy moving towards April because I'm publishing a book, a fantasy novel. So I'll put a link to that in the description below also if ever any of you are interested. It's not really on topic, but it's a fantasy novel I've been working on for like 15 years. So it's the first one of several. So pre-order starts April 5th. So moving up to April, I'm going to be super busy. But then after, I have things that I'm going to have scheduled, like videos and pictures and stuff, up until the launch in May. So I'm assuming something around mid-April, I should be able to launch the second season of Green Healing, with all that content continuing the series on the types of abuse, certain CPTSD symptoms, and I also have, like I've mentioned in the past, some guided meditations and things like that. So, and some Tibetan bold tracks too. So I'm really excited to get that editing, to share that all with you. Oh, and if you like what I do here on Green Healing and would like to support me, I'm going to have links in the description of the different ways that you can do that if you'd like. So today, let's close off with the t-shirts saying, so remember, empower yourself and be emotionally free. And you're beautiful, you're powerful, you are free.